So you were in New York for 9/11?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell
And
me
that's
about
when
your
we
tell me
that's when
about your
we had
9/11
we
experience.
had the bar in Brooklyn, and I was going back and forth between Manhattan and Brooklyn, and the area that we're in, Garrettson Beach, the water. We had a lot of cops and firemen,
Mhm.
sanitation workers, and you could see downtown Manhattan. And I'd stayed overnight because I got out of work late, and I turned on the news. I was supposed to go to the health department, but instead of going in, I decided to be an hour later and let me just catch the news in the morning.
Mhm.
Because I think I got to bed at like 5 or 6. So it's about 9 o'clock, and I'm watching the news. I'm watching the news, and I'm seeing the plane hit the building, and I'm like, "What? Oh my God, this is happening now! Like what?" And we saw the plane collapse, or
Mhm.
the building collapse, and all I remember is calling my mother, and it had to be about 6 in the morning in California,
Mhm.
and I said, "I just want you to know I'm okay." And then that was it, because the cell towers, all that equipment was
Right.
on top of the buildings. The
Right.
buildings went down, like there was no more communication.
Right.
Um, and later that over the course of the next few days, when the buildings went down, the wind blew the ephemera, the bits of
Mhm.
paper and stuff. It floated over the water
Mhm.
to Brooklyn, and we were picking up pieces of paper and receipts. And I just remember thinking, man, this was in someone's purse. It was
Right.
a receipt. This is a shopping list. It was sickening, you know. There was a preschool or something in the building. There
Mhm.
was somebody went to work that day and just never came home, and I'm holding a piece of paper from their office. Like, I cannot still think about that and not be moved, because I think about my children. I think if I went to work and just never came home, and they never found me, and just we collected these pieces of paper. Everybody was out in the street
Mhm.
picking up these pieces of paper. I gave them to somebody, and I imagine they saved them. But later, I had an ex work for the 9/11 memorial. I mean,
Mhm.
it's just such an amazing thing to see.
It really is.
But
If you haven't been there to see it.
being in Brooklyn, being in the outer boroughs, and our business was based. I mean, we had cops and firemen, and people were going in to try to find relatives and digging by hand. And we
Mhm.
sent cases of water to first responders. We were little, but we almost went out of business, because that was just after the summer. People would be coming back to school and starting to go back to dinner, going out to dinner instead of being
Mhm.
away on vacation.
Mhm.
Now our bills from the summer are coming due, air conditioning and whatnot. And it was really hard to
Right.
stay in business, because we lost clientele. There
Sure.
it was devastating.